Welcome, friends, to yet another wonderful afternoon of music, brought to you by the Friends of Maple Grove. Today we have an extraordinary opportunity to hear a choral performance that has enraptured people since it was first performed in 1937. We want to thank Celeste Chow for bringing this group of talented singers and musicians together and creating this powerful and stirring piece of music. The Friends of Maple Grove have been very diligent to bring you the finest musical performances possible. Please remain safe, and we hope to be all back together soon at the center for live concerts once again. Today's concert begins with a lecture. The first part will be about the noted opera singer Marie van Gelder, for whom this concert performance is dedicated. This will be followed by some highlights about the choral piece you will be hearing today, Carl Off's Carmina Burana. Marie van Gelder had a voice that made her famous in her native Europe, a soprano voice which permitted her to sing 16 different principal operatic parts in one season. She ranked as the leading artist and a voice which made her a respected prima donna soprano. Marie was born in Amsterdam in 1861. Her father was a composer and a teacher of the pianoforte, but her mother, as Marie explained in an interview, couldn't even carry a tune. Her musical talents were obvious at a tender age, and she and her father came to America, where she became a student at the New England Conservatory of Music in Boston. Marie graduated as a pupil in voice, theory, and harmony under the famous master, Signor Augusto Ruotoli, who pronounced that she was one of his best pupils and predicted a highly successful career. Her operatic career began in Europe when she debuted in Bern, Switzerland. After this grand premiere, she made an extensive tour of Switzerland, Germany, and Holland, singing in the foremost cities of Europe. Marie became the prima donna soprano at the Royal Theatre in Amsterdam, where she remained for 4 seasons. Marie specialized in roles of opera by the German composer Richard Wagner. Her operatic repertoire included nearly 40 roles, such as Lenore in Beethoven's Fidelio, Elizabeth in Wagner's Tannhauser, Elsa in Lohengrin, and Isolde from Tristan and Isolde. In 1934, Marie gave an interview and spoke about the highlights of her career.
I was summoned to sing before Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands at The Hague. The Queen received me most graciously and complimented me on my voice. Truly it warmed my heart, for it was reward for the many long years which I had spent in hard study. Singing for the Queen and when I sang before Kaiser Wilhelm were probably the happiest times of my life. I was presented to the German Kaiser, and you can imagine how I glowed within when he complimented me on my voice.
When Marie ended her operatic career, she returned to America and became a naturalized American citizen. She spent the rest of her life as a prominent opera teacher. She taught at Montgomery Women's College of Alabama and at the New York College of Music in New York City. She is quoted to say,
"I do my teaching and I live for my pupils. That is all that I care for now, together with my many dear friends."
Marie would always be known as a passionate singer and teacher. On Sunday, October 13, 1935, Marie went to St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan to attend the 11 a.m. High Holy Mass. She was seated in a pew about halfway down the south aisle. Suddenly, she was stricken and collapsed. Ushers carried her to the vestibule of the cathedral, where she died. She had a massive heart attack and was administered the last rites of the church. She was only 55 years old. Marie van Gelder was brought to Maple Grove Cemetery and was placed in a grave next to her father, who died in 1878 when Marie was only 17 years old. The great composer Ludwig van Beethoven once said, "To play a wrong note is insignificant. To play without passion is inexcusable." German composer Carl Orff's Carmina Burana is probably the most frequently performed choral piece of its time. The name Carmina Burana has Latin roots. Carmina means songs, while Burana is the Latin name for the village of Bern in Bavaria, Germany. Carmina Burana translates to Songs of Bern. Bern has a famous monastery formerly belonging to the Benedictine order of Saint Benedict, called Benedict Bern Abbey, which was founded in the year 739. In 1803, the Carmina Burana manuscript was found in this abbey. The manuscript contains a collection of 228 early 13th century songs and poems. The manuscript was written by a band of poet-musicians comprising scholars and clerical students. It contains songs of morals and mockery, the fickleness of fortune. It also contains the pleasures and perils of drinking, gluttony, love songs, drinking and gaming songs. It contains songs about the Crusades, several spiritual plays, reworkings of writings from antiquity, critiques of corruption in the Catholic Church, numerous satiric descriptions of raucous medieval paradise, and many other themes. The Carmina Burana manuscript contains a poem by the name of O Fortuna. Fortuna is the goddess of fortune and a personification of luck in Roman religion, who remained popular through the Middle Ages until the Renaissance. She was drawn in the Carmina Burana manuscript as a female character seated in front of a wheel. The goddess Fortuna was often depicted as a beautiful woman holding a cornucopia, a horn with riches. She might bring you good or bad luck. In medieval philosophy, the wheel of fortune is a symbol of a capricious nature of fate. The goddess Fortuna spins the wheel at random, changing positions of those on the wheel. Some suffer great misfortune, others gain rich windfalls. Carl Orff was born in Munich, Germany in 1895. At the age of 5, Carl began to play piano, organ, and cello, and composed a few songs and music for puppet plays. He became a noted German composer and music educator. In 1934, Orff came across the Carmina Burana manuscript. With the help of Michael Hoffman, a law student and Latin scholar, Carl chose 24 songs and set them to music in what he termed a scenic cantata. Orff wrote a musical score divided into sections. They cover a wide range of topics: the fickleness of fortune, the ephemeral nature of life, the joy of the return of spring, and the pleasures and perils of drinking, gluttony, gambling, and lust, written between 1935 and 1936 for soloists, choruses, and orchestra. It was originally conceived as a choreographed stage work for dancers. It was first performed on June 8, 1937 in Frankfurt, Germany as Carmina Burana. After its triumphant premiere, Off, then 41, wrote to his music publishers, "Everything I have written to date and which you have unfortunately published can be destroyed. With Carmina Burana, my collected works begin." However, nothing Off subsequently wrote ever came close to approaching the popularity of Carmina Burana. Off's masterpiece greatly appealed to the Nazi regime of Germany, to whom its rhythms, as one critic put it, were reminiscent of the stamping columns of the Third Reich. When Carmina Burana was first performed at La Scala in Italy in 1942, it was a showpiece for fascist values. O Fortuna, O Fortune, O Fate. This is the section of Carmina Burana that you will hear today. For the opening and closing movements of his cantata, Off used the O Fortuna poem found in the Carmina Burana manuscript. The poem is a cry about the misfortunes of fate in life. It opens at a slow pace with thumping drums and choir that drops quickly into a whisper, building slowly in a steady crescendo of drums and short string and horn notes, peaking on one last long powerful note and ending abruptly. The O Fortuna opening takes only 2.5 minutes to perform. Here are the English translations of some of the verses sung. Like the moon, you are changeable, ever waxing, ever waning. Hateful life first oppresses and then soothes. Poverty and power, fate monstrous and empty. You whirling wheel, you are malevolent. Well-being is vain. Always fades to nothing. Shadowed and veiled, I bring my bare back to your villainy. Fate is against me in health and virtue. Driven on and weighed down, always enslaved. Fate strikes down the strong. Everyone weep with me. Today, Carmina Burana is often played with great fanfare, including massively large choruses and many performances with the use of fireworks. Thank you for joining us today. Enjoy.
Oboe.